Hello, this is David, and today I'll be doing the INTC2030 Skills Project, and today I'll be doing the Microsoft's Windows Server Backup feature, and what I'll be doing is installing the Windows Backup feature, and I'll be going to install that on the server W2K801. Then I'm going to create a data folder on this server 801 on the drive C, and I'm going to create a text document in that data folder, and then I'm going to show you the steps to back up volume C to the remote server 802, and I'm going to be putting it in a folder called backup underscore of underscore W2K801. I'm going to delete this text document in the folder on server 801, and then I'm going to restore it from the remote server 802, and I'm just going to be restoring only that folder that I deleted. First thing we need to do, we need to install the Windows Server Backup feature on 801. I've actually done that, but I'll show you the steps on doing that on 802 there. First thing you want to do to install the Windows Backup feature is bring up Server Manager, click on your features, and then you want to add a feature, and you slide it clear down here close to the bottom, and right here you'll see the Windows Server Backup feature, and if you expand that, if you click it once, it'll actually install the Windows Server Backup GUI, and if you want to do it, your backup server some with the command lines, you'll need to install the command line tools. I'm going to just opt for the GUI myself. Sometimes it's a little hard for me to remember the actual command to do the backup on a command line utility. So then we'll do the next, and then when you click the install, and that'll install that feature. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this since I've already got that feature set up on 801, but that was the steps. If you install the command line utility, it installs the Windows PowerShell utility for you, and it'll ask it prompt you that you need to install additional resources. So let's bring up the next step here. See what we. Okay, we're going to be creating a data folder on drive C, and we're going to install a text document. So let's just go over here to 801, and we're going to bring the computer up. And I've created that data folder, as you see right here at the top, and I call it data. And then inside this, I've got a text document called data on W2801. So if we bring it up, we've got some data in there, some test data. Okay, we've got those steps configured. Now let's go to the next step. The steps to back up is volume C server to volume C on 801 to a remote server. First thing we need to do is we need to actually create a folder, and I've created a share folder here. And if we go in here, I put on the NTFS permissions, went to properties. First I shared it, and if we go in here and look at it, I give everyone full permission. And then I went to security and added domain administrators in case you was on the domain, and then I just put administrator and for the permissions on this is on 802. So what we're going to do now is we want to go through the steps to backing up our our 801 server, and we're going to be backing up the volume C. So to do a backup, let's go back over here to 801, and we'll want to go to you go to Start, Admin Tools, and Windows Server Backup. It's brought our Windows Server Backup up for us. As you can see, I've got some backups already backed up from the other day, but we want to go ahead and back up again. And you can actually, over here on the right pane, you can set you up a backup schedule. I'm just going to go down here and choose the backup once option, and it brings up the backup wizard for you, and we're going to choose different options here. So let me take a next here. We're going to do a custom because I want to show you all the options within the custom feature here. Click next. We're going to back up drive C, and Windows 2008 will only let you do this option, but I like to point out Windows has fixed this in the 2008 server release 2, and you can actually just back up a data folder or any folder or files that you want to. You don't have to back up the complete volume. You can click this to enable system recovery, but for today I'm going to take this off because that will actually make it run a little bit longer. So I'm going to do next, and here's the type of storage that I want to back up to. And Windows Backup Server will support local disk drives and your CD and DVD drives, but it also supports a remote shared folder, but it does not have the option to back up to optical tape. That's one feature they left out, but we'll go ahead and back up to a shared folder, and we're going to be using the shared folder on our 802 server. So let's click continue, and right now it's wanting to give the server name a shared file, and what we said we was going to do it on 802, so we'll do W2K 801, and we're going to back up. We're going to back up to backup underscore underscore W2K. We named that folder 801 there. If I get it spelled correctly here, 801, and click next. Now, I see my problem there. It's on 802. We don't have a folder called backup. We want to go to the 802 server. So we'll click next. Okay, when I've done that, it's telling me I've already got a backup written over there. And if we'll go over here and look on 802 in that folder, we have got a backup, a Windows System Image Backup, and it's of W2K 801, and here's the backup. And so we could either create another folder for a new backup, or we could just give it OK to overwrite the existing backup with a new one, and that's the option we're going to select. And here you've got your options. You can do a VSS copy backup. And what this does, it does not blank out the archive flag for the backup bit. And if you choose the full backup, and it does, if you run any type of third-party backup, you want to make sure you use the copy backup and not the full backup, because you start changing your backup bit flags, and it will mess up your third-party server's backup. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave the backup flags like they were, and we'll click next. And then we'll click back up here to get started. And as you see, it's creating the backup. It's not started yet, but see, it's getting ready to. And as you see in the display box, it's actually backing it up now, and we're already up to 32%. It's going pretty fast this time. Our backup has completed. So we can close this out now. And what we said we wanted to do now, we've backed up our 801 server to the server 802. One thing to mention that right now I've got both of these servers, 801 and 802, signed on as the local administrator, but you could actually do it from a domain administrator also. So now we want to delete the text file in the data folder on the 801. Then we're going to restore that and check to make sure that everything is. So we'll just go over here to our drive and look in our data folder and delete that document. So we'll go into our data folder and let's delete this. We're sure we want to delete it. We're sure. And as you see, the data folder is empty now. So now we want to restore. So to restore, you just go to Start, Admin's Tools, your Windows Server Backup, and then bring this up, and it actually come up like this and show you what backups that you've had. And so what we want to do, we want to go over to the right pane, we want to recover. Okay, and it'll bring up the wizard, and the first selection is where we want to recover the data from. This server, no, we want to select another server. We'll click Next, and we'll click Remote Shared Folder, and Next, and now It wants us to give us that folder name, and we named it W2K801 backslash backup of W2K801. I see what I've done again. It's not on 801, it's on 802, so let's back up there and put it 802. And right there, now it'll pop up for us. And click next. Okay, it'll actually give us the date selections. The oldest one that we got out there is the one today because it overwrote the other ones. So let's go next. And we're going to restore just files and folders, so we're going to go next. And then we'll select our file. So let's bring this up here. Go to our data. And we've got our text document selected in the right hand side here, so we'll do next. And we're going to, we can put it in another location. It's got some options here, the create copies, override existing file with recovery files, do not recover, so we want to just override it. And we're going to restore the system settings and click next, and then we're going to click recover. As you see in the window here, it's restoring that file, and it has completed, so we can close this out now. So let's go to our data folder. And you see it's already in there for us, and we can click on it. It's restored our text document back to the location we told it to, and everything seems to be working properly. One thing I like to mention again, on Windows 8, on the Windows Server Backup 2008, you can just back up a volume, but on the Windows, and I'm talking about the Server Edition. But if you have Windows Server 2008 Release 2, it'll actually let you select a folder or just text documents to back up, which actually might be handy in some instances if you need to do a backup on a folder or some documents. Need to do it right fast, and won't have to worry about optical tape. Before I finish this tutorial, I would like to actually show you Windows Server 2008 Release 2. We was on just Windows Server 2008. I've installed Windows 2008 Release 2 here just to show you that you can select your folders and data files that you want to back up. I did download this from DreamSpark. It is free if your college is enrolled with DreamSpark, and I advise you to, you may want to get a copy of it. And I've installed I actually installed this Windows Server 2008 Release 2, and I used the 64-bit. The 801s and 802s were 32-bit, and I'll have to say this runs a lot faster. In fact, when I install the feature that I went through, it usually takes about 20-25 minutes to install the feature on the 32-bit. The 64-bit was cut down. It was a third of the time. That it just went zip zip. But I went into the Windows Server backup screen to the admin tools, and we want to do a custom here. As you see, I want to choose custom folders and files, and I went to customs, and then you can add items here, and then you can go out there and select the folders you want to back up. And I've got a data folder on our, and called it data folder on our 2008 Release 2, and if you go into it, I don't have anything inside that folder, and you can actually select that folder, and then it'll let you actually just back up that folder or files that you want to do. So I just wanted to show you the difference in the 2008 and the Release 2 2008, which is a good feature. And also the Release 2, it has a good core feature. It has a menu-driven type GUI that you can add into your core, which gives you reminds me of the old DOS type menus where you select an option and then give it more options, and it actually done it a lot easier. This concludes the tutorials for INTC2030 network infrastructure. Thanks for watching the videos.